How to tell if a spell is working? Answering this question isn't easy, and that's because every spell is different. It will depend on the type of spell you cast, on your abilities as a witch, the timing, ingredients, and a few more things. What might be an obvious answer to one person will not necessarily mean the same for another. It depends on the circumstances and the spellcaster. What to expect from spells? Before we begin, one thing must be clear. Real-life spells aren't miracle solutions that can manifest anything you want. A spell won't break the laws of physics. It won't make you fly or change your physical body, for example, turning you into a mermaid. They just don't work like that. Spells are a type of spiritual exercise in which we channel our faith and communicate a wish or desire to a higher being. Spells are a movement of emotional and spiritual energies and have the power to achieve a goal and help us during difficult times. 5 signs a spell is working. 1. Changes in your mood. The most common and first sign that any spell is working is a feeling of happiness and clarity right after casting the spell. This is usually the satisfaction and confidence of knowing that you cast the right spell at the right time, and that's a good sign. Positive feelings can appear the moment the spell is completed and last for days or even weeks, so observe your emotions. If you've done a cleansing ritual or a self-love spell, it's very common to feel energized, cleansed, and bright. If, for example, you've cast a love spell and start to feel more intense emotions such as a surrounding aura of love and care, then these are all physical signs that your spell has been cast and is working. If you aren't feeling anything special, that's not necessarily a bad symptom. Stay positive and have faith so that your spell will work anyway. You don't want to undermine its effect with your own doubts and worries. Feeling drained or weak after casting a spell. This is also not necessarily a bad sign. It just means that you put a lot of your own energy into the ritual, or didn't get properly grounded before or after the spell work. Next time, work on grounding yourself better to use less of your energies. 2. Signs and omens from nature. Look around. When a spell is working, the universe will send all sorts of signs, but it's up to you to find them. Some of these signs will come in the form of birds, weather changes, cloud formations, or in the trees. Clear your mind and go for a hike, watch the moon and the stars, or simply stare out your window. The signs are always hiding in plain sight. This is also different for everyone because the signs will speak to you directly, sometimes on a very personal level, through symbols, patterns, and information only you can understand. Work on developing your intuition so you won't miss any important messages. 3. Messages in your dreams. All dreams have a meaning. Knowing how to interpret them can be very enriching and can allow you to receive unconscious signals that will help you to know if a spell is working. Pay attention to the emotions that each dream triggers. If the emotions are pleasant and positive, it could be a sign of manifestation. Desires and hopes are high, which makes goals easier to achieve. If, on the other hand, the emotions you feel when dreaming are unpleasant, uncomfortable, or painful, stop and try to analyze the meaning of that dream and what it reveals. It can show you a subconscious part of yourself still to be resolved or to overcome, such as traumas, fears, worries that might be interfering with the spells you cast. On many occasions, the dream is so obvious that there is no room for doubt. An example of this is a dream in which a spiritual being such as an angel speaks to you in a clear way about what is happening or will happen in your life. 4. Coincidences. Coincidences are another very common sign that a spell is working. For example, after casting a candle spell, you receive a message or a call from a friend that hasn't talked to you in a long time. This may seem like a coincidence, but it can be a side effect or a clear sign that your spell casting was effective. It's important to pay attention to all these signs and messages and take them seriously. The more you can recognize the coincidences, the more messages you will receive. It's not hard, and if you are very intuitive, you will find them even in songs, on the radio, or during TV shows. You might bump into someone on the street or see something that you didn't expect at all. Other signs will come through visions while meditating or simply as hunches of your intuition. 5. Real-life interactions. The best signs of a spell working are the actual results starting to manifest. If you've cast a spell to get a job and then received a call from a company that wants to interview you, congratulations, you are becoming a powerful witch. Keep up the hard work. If you've cast a spell to make more money and suddenly someone invites you to join in a new project, don't let the opportunity pass you by. That's the power of your witchcraft starting to manifest in real life. Whenever something unexpected happens in your life, whether it's winning a prize, getting a bonus, having new ideas, new neighbors, or even something that seems like a challenge, take the risk and keep confident that your wishes have been heard. These are all signs that your spells are working properly. Extra tips. 1. Keep a journal. Keep a journal of your spiritual works and progress so that you can have a record of the signs of your spell manifesting. This will help you find patterns that make sense to you. While every new witch is told about keeping a book of shadows, very few are told about a book of mirrors. Your journal is unique to you, and it can become a major component in your spiritual growth. It will be a great learning experience and a very interesting account to look back later on your path as a witch. You might also want to keep a dream journal where you will write down whatever you can remember from last night's dreams. 2. Be patient. Different spells have different time frames. Some spells will take a lunar month to take effect. After this time, you might want to recast the spell. Others can take a whole season or even a year. Have a realistic timeline and keep working toward your goals with faith, confidence, and perseverance. Keep in mind that the harder your goal is to achieve, the longer it will generally take. 3. Evaluate your spells. You may need to modify the spells if you're not seeing results after trying a few times. Evaluate the spell and decide what changes you can make to get better results. If the focus of the spell is not clear, you are less likely to succeed, so make sure to be detailed-oriented and specific when making any wishes or requests. 4. Perform a divination. Use a deck of cards or a pendulum to ask the higher powers or any of your divinities about the progress of the spell. Ask about the status of the current situation and also what you can do to make the spell work to its fullest. 5. Ask a professional. Hire a medium, psychic, or tarot reader to shine a light on your case. A good professional will give you personalized insights, answers, predictions, and advice that you can use to make your spells more successful. Frequently asked questions about spells. How long should I wait for a spell to take effect? Stop and try waiting at least a full moon cycle, about 28 days, before casting another spell. Depending on the type of spell and your own abilities, you can choose to repeat the spell in 2 weeks instead. Should I try the same spell or a different one? If you're a beginner witch, it's totally okay if your spell didn't work in the first attempt. Kitchen magic is just like regular kitchen work. Your first attempt at baking a cake might be disastrous, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. Don't obsess about getting results instantly. Keep on learning, practicing and experimenting until you find what works best for you. Is it normal to feel weakness, headaches, or pains after casting a spell? This is normal, especially for beginners. It means that you are putting a lot of your own energy into the ritual, and it is draining you physically or mentally. To prevent this, perform grounding exercises before and after your spell or ritual. If you are feeling strong negative physical symptoms, stop all energy work and ask a professional. What are the signs a love spell is not working? It's important to give up control and stay aware. If you've heard or read that a spell will manifest in a specific way, you will be expecting it to play out the same way for you, and this will cause you to miss other signs that your spell is working. Instead, be open and present in your life. The universe won't drop the result at your door, although it sometimes does. Just know the result is coming and stay open to whatever situation or opportunity that presents itself. Never compare spell results because two people can do the same spell at the same time and have it play out in two completely different ways.